So I was recording some footage for an upcoming video that involved paint on Decimate using my Tandy 1000. And I wanted to get some video of the joystick itself that I would be using and how you set it up from the normal mode to free floating mode where the stick just sort of floats around, and that's how you use it as a mouse in Decimate. And so I brought it out and plugged it in and fooled around, plugged it in with the wrong port, finally got it working, and then decided to show off, flipping into free floating mode, and then crack. A piece internally broke and was rattling around. The joystick didn't work properly anymore. And so now I've gone from one video subject to another. Now we'll have to repair this joystick if I can. And fortunately, I do have multiple extra PC Junior joysticks, which are internally identical. So if I need spare parts, I have them. However, first I'm going to try to fix the broken part itself, and we'll see how that goes. So first thing I'm going to try is this rapid fuse adhesive, which best I can tell is basically super glue with a special primer for gluing plastic to plastic. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply the primer, and then I'll wait around a minute, which is what it says to do. And in theory, that will allow it to fuse together more thoroughly. It's interesting that it looks like, yeah, there wasn't that much contact there. I don't know why it broke, to be honest, but the mechanism is kind of unclear. These little switches, you toggle to, I guess, take the spring out of it so it's free floating. And if you look, I see what happens here is when you pull those little toggles, it will hold the spring tensioner in place. It'll lock that in place, and that's what allows it to be free floating. I guess if you had multiple of these, you could just take the springs out, and then one of them would always be free floating, and you could have another one that's normal joystick action. It's not what we're going to do here, though. We're going to try to repair this so it works properly. I've been jaw jacking somewhere around a minute. So let's go ahead and just glue it. It's important to drop the piece on the floor beforehand. A lot of people forget that step. Okay. Now I'm just going to hold it together for a little while. Real exciting content. And then I'll stop filming for a few hours and let it dry. Alright, so been gone for a while and come back, and glue seems to have dried. Seems to be fairly solid. I guess the next step is to try to reassemble the joystick. And so I wonder if I need to loosen that screw a little bit so that I can get this on here without too much of a fight. How does this even work to get that on there? Okay, this does come up. Alright. So I think what I do is I lift up this side with the potentiometer. Then I get this slipped on here. Okay, I do need to loosen the screw. I'll make it easier to slide onto, I think. But then I also got to get this pin in, so, oh Lord, this assembled it slightly more than I wanted to, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to take this here pin, slide it into here, alright. This little three-dimensional mechanism. And then also slide it onto the pot and then get it to slip onto the right spot. So this is kind of hard for me to see, which is annoying, but that's okay. There we go. And there we go there. Alright, that's not where it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay. This needs to be, okay, this has come out of the sleeve here. It's just not wanting to go all the way onto this thing here, which is weird because it should just slide right on. Right? It should slide right on. But I guess there's, so this has got to be difficult. Why does this seem like I'm struggling to get this in the right groove here? Alright. Does it seem like it's bent a little bit or something? I don't know. Looks alright. But yeah, as I look at this, it looks like this is kind of bent out of whack. Like it should be up here, but it's not. I think that's because this is supposed to be, you know, a lot further up on the shaft. Yeah. That will screw that screw in place right here to tighten that down. That'll probably make it a little bit better operational. Not too tight because it's plastic, so it's not going to do it really. It looks to me like everything works, at least physically. I have to recalibrate it, but now I've got some grooves here that has to go into, and that might be the tricky part because it seems like this is kind of out of its position on this edge. But it looks like it works. Let's just go ahead and screw it back together and hope that that works. And then we'll see. Over here. All right. Only one way to find out. Let's give it a try. Okay, so first, left, right, good, up, down, good. I'm centering, so this, these adjust the potentiometer, so kind of center it using these adjustments. I felt like it's a little loose, probably need to tighten everything up a little bit. Hopefully I have something else broken here, but alright, for the moment of truth, how it broke in the first place. Going to try to lock it into free floating mode, and it works perfectly. Success! Alright. It works. So now I can film what I intended to film. Well, that's it for this short repair. It turned out as good as I could have hoped. On the first try, everything worked. Hopefully it stays in one piece. If not, we'll try something different, but seems to be working great. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.